Alright, so we can do a couple of things. One is, let's take a look. We can grab his eye, and what would happen if we did this? So poly surface shape 2, that's the name of the eye. Go to Arnold, and from poly mesh switch it to mesh light. Now mesh light now means that it's a light, and so at the minute it's black. Well, I want to make light visible, so click on it, but it's white, so we want to make it red. There we go. And exposure, let's say 5. There we go. We're giving it some kind of like light to it. We could do the same for this thingy in the middle here. So let's have a look. Mesh light. We want to make light visible. Color red. Exposure 5. Maybe bring it down to 4 or 3. Maybe just 1. Yeah, too dull. 2. I don't know. 7. Meh. I'm going to go back to the polymesh, leave as it is, but I do like it for the eye. I do like it for the eye, but I think exposure 5 is too much. Let's drop it down to 3. Yeah. Right, so that's that done. And the other thing is the background. It kind of confuses our character, and so the background is at quite a distance away. So I want to show you something called I'll just show you it actually. So I'm going to select the lights, and let's go to Arnold, and we have something called depth of field. And depth of field will make the background blurry, because if you take a look at it, it's much further away. So in real life, when something is far away from the main object, it's out of focus basically. And so I'm just going to grab the vertices here from this set, just bring it until it intersects. There we go. Right, so yeah, so we're going to add some depth of field. So we need to know the distance of this from the camera, and the way to do that is to go to display, heads up display, and look for object details, distance from camera. And so if we click on, say, the characters ahead, it will tell us 107.313. Okay, so we can go and select the camera, enable depth of field, focus distance is 107.313. Now let's just double check that. See, 107.313. So you got 107.313. So we're keeping our character in focus, which means the background's going to be out of focus. Aperture size, that's going to be the size of the depth of field. Blades, I tend to use 4. Aperture, blade curvature, and rotation, and ratio. You can play with these. I tend to leave them at default. And so the aperture size is how much depth of field or blurriness you're going to have in your scene. So the minute it's 0, so if we hit render, this is what's going to happen. And it's 0 basically, so it's nothing. So I'm just going to stop it and say aperture size 1, then boom. And now you can see the blurriness. Now it's very grainy because it requires a lot of samples. So one way of dealing with this is just to select a little sample, say here. Okay, and so with the sample selected, what we can do, I'm just going to stop it, is go to the render settings and bump it up to 4. Okay, and then now let's take a look. And as you can see, that's much better. So that's one. Let's save a snapshot of that, and you can say, well, let's try zero point 0.5. So you got 1.5, 1.5. So again, this is 0.5, and let's try 1. Alright, okay, so it's entirely up to you what you want to go for. I think I'm going to settle for in between and say zero point 0.7. Alright, okay. So I'm going to just switch it off there so I don't accidentally activate it again. So basically, we've got everything done. We've done the lights, we've done the ambient occlusion, we did the textures, we've added the depth of field to the set. So the last thing really is to set up everything for the final render. So we'll do that next video.